Good afternoon. Namaskar. Dr. Sayaji Patil, Professor Sitaram, my good friend, Dr. Ganesh Gule, Professor Gupta, Pratap Rao, Desai, I cannot forget. I'm an intruder here. People don't like intruders. But I'll tell you the matter of coincidence. I'm maybe a scientist, engineering scientist at that, but matter of coincidence, I'll tell you. In 1980, in Bhoiwada, Kolhapur citizens felicitated two guys. One was Gnaneshwar Gule and second was me, and I was going to UK. Perhaps you remember that, yes. And he had qualified for the examination. And I was going as a postdoctoral fellow. That is very interesting. Second coincidence, Professor Sitaram joined for his PhD in University of Waterloo, where I was there as a postdoctoral fellow. I was the NSERC postdoctoral fellow. And not only that, Dr. Desai, he made me honorary fellow of ISTE in Ludhiana along with Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe. So you see how many coincidences are there. So you cannot forget how destiny favors you. I'll tell you many things about that. Since this topic is on educational technology, I was invited last week in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar by this MGM University, and that was TEDx program. And they said, sir, you have to talk on something which is different. And you know what I talked on? I said, in 2100, death will not be a problem, life will be. This is what I said. And everybody was mesmerized. They said, how did you think of this topic? I said, I can tell you that in Bhagavad Gita he quoted, Nainam Chandanti Vastrani Nainam Dharvi Pavaka Najat Plere Chapo Na Social Kinurta. Atma, soul moves from one body to another body. Okay? In future, we will be replacing most of our body by biocompatible materials because technology is developed. So that means 95% of the original body is replaced by synthetic body. So if Padma has moved from one body to another, that is what Lord Sri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. And I explained to them how technology is going to change the entire world. Since this conference in technology, by 2100 there will be many people who will be centurions, nonagerians, octogenarians. The average life expectancy will be very high. In the year 1900, the average age of Indian person, male, was 38 years, female was 43 years. Females became grandmothers at the age of 30. Now they are not getting married even at the age of 30. That is another problem. And there is a huge problem, societal problem. And the village girls don't marry anybody who wants to stay or do farming. That is another problem. But that's a fact. So life expectancy has increased. What has happened? So people were retiring at the age of 60. Now they are becoming active at the age of 60. There are many Nobel laureates. I can cite some of these examples who have done fantastic work after so-called retirement age in India. There is no retirement age in the United States. They say work. So, you know, the Nobel laureate, good enough. He worked till the age of 103. And he got his Nobel Prize at the age of 97. This is the marvel of technology. We will change everything in our body. So this is, I was telling about that, but at the same time I tell you what is happening. Every discipline is important. Every discipline. This year, in JEE advanced examination, out of the top 100 students, 71 joined IIT Bombay. And all of them joined for computer science and engineering. Why? because the parents think if you don't join that discipline, you are useless. Parents are responsible for all this dichotomy. Another interesting fact. Then IIT Madras, another very important IIT. I was the chairman of one of their DST centers, oncology. They offered free ticket to the parents and the kid, hotel, so that they join IIT Madras. And this is all Professor Sitaram knows it. I have commented in our common group, we are member of some common group. What is happening to education? Does it mean all other disciplines are useless? I also happen to be a member of a smart manufacturing committee of the Prime Minister's office, and I said, we must encourage our industries to develop technology, smart technologies, where AI, ML, all these will be used as tools. They cannot replace manufacturing, right? AI and ML are tools to increase the efficiency. What you did earlier in 1 month, you may do in 1 minute. That is efficiency, not replacement of technology. And this must be told. The students must be made aware of that technology does not mean only AI. Then I went to another IIT, they called me, they said, sir, how you have been able to attract students to ICT Mumbai? I said, we have a different company. Many people don't believe that our institute, our alumni produce 8% of India's GDP. And I told Dr. Amitabh Kant, he said, Arey professor, I said, check it. Mukesh Ambani is our student. He has Jio and everything. Naratam Saksariya is our student. Anjir Reddy is our student. All these 700 plus entrepreneurs we have created. So there must be some magic. We care for our students, and I used to give this assurance to my students. Let any student join my institute, he should not leave the institute for want of money. I will get the money. Don't ask me how I get the money. I can get the money. That was my assurance. So in education and technology, there are many good opportunities. Now you mentioned that in America, lawyers make more money because all the lawyers, they are hated also in America. It's not that they are loved. Although there are so many Nobel laureates and all that, how they have come there? Most of them are not naturally born citizens. They are migrants there. Why? Because there is an open door policy. And in our country, you cannot join from one university to another university because they say, Arey, Sthanik Mansala Mahutva there. In technology, Sthanik and Asthanik Bhangat nahi hai. You don't have to be local. You have to be technologically superior. That is what is required. So our policy, I will not say this for, measure of, decency. Somebody once called me, one minister, and he said, how come you have 30% reservation for outside the state students? I said, yes, we have been doing it since 1933, when we were established. So that is the legacy. He said, no, you reduce it. I said, sir, don't do it. I will go against it to the court. I told him, the minister, I will go against it. My students will, because our reputation is because our students from all over the country. We produce 19 Padma awardees, not 1 or 2, 19 Padma awardees. And majority of them are out of the state. So don't you think that you should respect that? They are all Indians. So don't say that, they should not be here and we will restrict. He said, next year I will see that you don't do it. I said, okay, let us see next year. Next year the minister had gone. I'm telling it jokingly, but that's a fact. That minister respects me. He said, sir, you are a tough guy. I said, of course I am a tough guy. In the interest of education, we must take tough decisions also. And another thing, I wrote up, you might have read my article, Trump, tariff and talent migration. I wrote that article. And I said, Trump has, in a way, helped us. All these talented people will come back. We should open, China is accepting it, believe me. China is accepting. Canada last week, 1.3 billion Canadian dollars for getting people recruited from postdoc to assistant professor to full professor. So why not India? We should also allow our vice chancellor directors to recruit people. You can, ratify the decision later. You can ratify the decision later, but that is the need of the hour. Yeah, I gave it this guy.
Yeah, that's why we took it.
Yeah, I already told Sanjay ji to hire him. Yeah, he was my colleague. After I retired, he had some problem. I said, okay, come here. And he's doing well, right? He's doing well. So what I'm trying to tell you, technology is the need of the hour. If one technology creates problem, another technology will solve it. That is the history of technology. Otherwise, still we'll be riding bicycle. Correct? In 1901, Lord Kelvin, the Kelvin scale of temperature said metal is 1,000 times heavier than air. Nothing can fly. And within 7 years, Wright brothers flew because they are not ready opinion. So nothing is impossible in technology. Nothing is impossible. Whatever we imagine, in fact, imagination may be more real than reality. This is what is going to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to me. I see many scholars, and let me quote from Ritwik. I have studied Sanskrit and I have studied Vedas. I will tell you, Ano Bhadra Prutu Yantu Vishnu. Let the noble thoughts come to us from our direction, and it should start now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance. Today, Chief Guest, Professor T.G. Sitaram,